This video is going to be a little different because we've got the Ecoflow Delta 2 here and we're obviously in the cottage, and I've recently seen, I'll put a slide in now, that there's some power organisations, some suppliers of electricity in the UK that are offering up to £10 a day if you don't use power at the peak time from about 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock, I think it is, or somewhere around that time, which is obviously the main time we have dinner, or if you're in Yorkshire, tea time. So I thought, if that's the case, this Delta 2 takes about 80 minutes to charge from flat to fully charged using the mains power. And that's just using this mains lead here, so I've just charged it fully using this from the socket. So to charge that from the mains in 80 minutes, a kilowatt hour is probably about 50 pence, 51 pence for a kilowatt hour. This takes 300 watts, and if it takes 80 minutes, let's say it maximum 70 pence, or even £1 to charge that. If you say, even if the prices went up, it would be £1 to charge that from flat. That is just over £1,000 in the UK and can be used in your camper van and all other areas, but you might be able to actually cook yourself a meal and go and watch TV in the 3-hour slot. Save that 10 quid from the power company, all by using this. And you're not going to damage this by doing it because it's capable of doing it. It's standard just over 1,000 watt output, but it has a boost control on it as well to give you some additional power. It's a lithium phosphate battery, so the recycle charging process with this is good. It's up to 3,000 cycles, which means you can drop it down to 0, charge it to full 3,000 times without it affecting the capacity of the battery inside. It would only affect the battery inside after the 3,000 cycles, and that's probably about 10 years worth of using it if you use it on a regular basis. And that capacity drop is in the value of the battery, so it only drops to 80% capacity after that period of time. So using it like this might be an option to save some money and make some money out of those very, very rich electrical companies. So to do this, and because I'm such a wonderful cook, we're going to make beans on toast. It's not a bad meal, is it? So I'm using the stuff out my camper van as well. So this is an induction hob. That's the toaster we use in the camper van, and that's our small kettle we use in the camper van as well. So I'm not using the big powerful appliances that we have in the house. This is out of the camper van, all this is out of the camper van. And of course it will be dark in the winter, so I've got this light on as well with a low volume, low capacity bulb inside there as well, an energy saving bulb. So let's see if we can do it all in one go. Cold water in the kettle. And there, kettle's on, red light's on there. Toaster on, fans have started to come on this now. With the light and these two devices, it says here, can't see without my glasses on, it's using 1,672 watts, and it'll last for 30 minutes doing this, but obviously it's not going to take 30 minutes to do this. So what I think I'll do is I'll stop the toaster for now, make my cup of tea, get the beans hot, and then do the toast in the sequence. So we've got the kettle boiling and we've got the light on. They're the only two things. This is on standby and that's not being used at the moment. I'm using 710 watts. This is nearly boiled, it's well on its way. And I use posh tea, dried tea in this fancy teapot, Earl Grey. Kettle's taking about a minute, I'd say, to boil. It's only a small kettle because I'm only making a meal for myself. Running that light and that kettle, it says it will run for 44 minutes just with those two. And we're currently using 709 watts of power. Kettle's boiled, pour into the teapot. Let that sit for a bit. Now, let's do the beans. So it's an induction hob, and this is the one we use in our camper van. Right, switch this one on. I wondered why it wouldn't work, but it's an induction knob and this is a pan out of the house, so we're over to a stainless pan so it'll work. That's the one we use in the AG. Switch it back on. That's temperature. And we're running away there. We'll let them get warm and then we'll do the toast. Doesn't take long to cook beans on this. Look at that. Using 150 watts, but it's literally cooking these straight away. It's not going to take long at all. So this must be into the boost mode of the unit. The boost mode of the unit enables the unit to use more than it's just over 1000 watts. But as you can see, it's cooking them super hot. I'll turn it down a bit. Better. And with me turning it down, it's dropped it down to 600 watts. So if I don't have this on full, it'll run it no problem. But I can put it on quick, get the beans nice and hot, and then just heat them through. Right, I'm going to switch that hot off and switch that on, so I don't want to burn my beans. So with the toaster on there, toaster is drawing 968 watts. Of course the light's still running as well. Oh, toaster a little bit overdone. Beans are piping hot, but they're not gone to that stage where they go mushy. You can overcook beans, can't you? So, let's pour me tea. Butter my toast. Have my beans on toast and then I'll get back to you, but we've used 80% to make a cup of tea and make beans on toast with a light. So we've used 20% to do that. We've got 80% left, so we've got 80% to enable us to watch TV for about another 2.5 hours. I wonder if it'll work. That was lovely. So let's go in the other room and see how long it'll run the TV and the light for while we finish our tea off. We're in the living room now, and this power unit is plugged in at the back of here. There's 2 plugs in, and that's for the internet server and obviously the TV. And the light is also plugged in there as well. So there's 3 plugs in there. That's the TV, that's to the server, and that's to the light. And it says on here it will last 6 hours. And we've used 20%, there's 80% left, and we're currently drawing just over, as Rosie sticks her nose in, we're currently drawing just over 110, 113 watts. And for heat, we've got the open fire on, and Louie's snoozing away there. You can guarantee when we put this on time lapse, you'll see Rosie on and off that bed. So let's see how long it lasts for. So this TV, the light and the Wi-Fi router have all been running for well over an hour now, and it says on this that it's still got 5 hours to go. So I think the experiment works, doesn't it? So cooking a meal and watching TV for at least 3 hours or even up to 6 hours according to this, with our setup anyhow. This is using 112 watts. Obviously you could switch the light off and that's probably 20 watts it's using. We're not using any heat apart from the fire, but you could plug a small electric heater in this, and I think you'd probably, if it was a small electric heater, depending what the wattage is, you'd probably still get your 3 hours usage. So it can be done. So there we go, a bit of a weird and wonderful experiment, but I was really surprised to see that in the news, and I don't know if those electrical companies are actually going to do that, but if they do, I wonder how many people will take it up. Obviously you could just, if you had a camper van with all your gear sat in there, you just go in the camper van and use your stuff from there. But I suppose the key is about charging this up. So if it costs 70 pence to charge it up from flat, That's not too bad, particularly if the electric companies are going to give you 10 quid. But the other thing is that you can charge this from 12 volts. So if this was to be used just on a night out of season when you're not using your camper van or your caravan, you could plug this in your car, get some charging it backwards and forwards from work. Or maybe if you have a nice employer, would they let you plug this in at work and charge it up at work, and then you could bring it home? I suppose you'd have to have permission for that, as it would be classed as stealing electricity. I do know people that have taken these into places like McDonald's in a bag and plugged them in and charged them, but I won't condone that. I suppose if you ask for permission, it's okay. That's Rosie eating the biscuits in the background. But yeah, real versatile piece of kit. There's lots of reviews about these on the internet now. This is probably the top product for 1,000 watt or just over 1,000 watt unit for using in camper vans and motorhomes and even in your house. And don't forget that this has this socket on the side, and this socket's quite significant because you can buy another one of these units which is just a dummy battery that plugs into the side of this, which doubles the capacity, so you'd even get more use out of it. Now I really like Ecoflow's portable solar panels, and this is the beast that they do. This is 400 watts. No lightweight, but it's fantastic quality, and the thing this does more than any of the others, or the majority of the other companies that make portable solar panels, this one is 100% waterproof. Get out the bag. That case can be used to stand this up. I'm not particularly interested in that, and a lot of the others have these fall down legs in, which tend to get into in the way when you want to use them for other ways or in other positions. But this is what you'd expect. It's 4 separate panels like this, but the actual full thing is waterproof. So a fantastic piece of kit, these, and they're very thin, streamlined. So having these on your car or on your camper van is not going to take up any room whatsoever. But the main thing, as well as being great quality solar panels, 400 watts is massive. They do smaller ones, but the 100% waterproof is perfect, certainly if you're in the UK. These eyelets here are all waterproof. So if you want to use this on a yacht or a boat, or you're just in the UK, the problem with portable solar panels in the UK is you never know when it's going to rain, and you might leave this outside or on top of your car or on top of your camper van, and it rains when you're away, so you're dashing back so you don't destroy your solar panel. This one you can leave outside, no problems. So this one, as I say, is going to sit on the shed roof, and we're going to use this on the shed roof, and then it's going to be detachable and it's going to go away with us, and if we need additional solar on the camper van, we can tie wrap this to the roof of the camper van or just stand it by the side of the camper van to catch some extra solar. Brilliant piece of kit. So I hope you've enjoyed that video, and the look at the 400 watt solar panel from Ecoflow and the Ecoflow Delta 2. Something completely different, and sorry for the tapping in the background and the biscuit crunching, but that's Rosie sneaking in and out to have some biscuits. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.